You just got the news that your A1C is elevated to a type 2 diabetes diagnosis. It could be. Your physician is concerned, you're concerned, but you become overwhelmed trying to figure out how can you lower your A1C. Well, if you've ever been in a situation where your health needs to be a priority, but the overwhelm makes you wonder if you can naturally reduce your A1C, take charge of your health, and lose weight in the process, well, beautifuls, this conversation is for you. It's your girl, Coach Nick, with another beautifully well conversation. In this conversation, I'm going to tell you it is fire. And I know I say that about every conversation, but I promise you, by the end of this conversation, when you meet one of our beautifuls, Rita, and learn her story, and when I say her story, we're not just talking about eat some vegetables, go and work out. We're going to dive deeper into the psychology of how we go through this process of being able to create this mindset. I mean, you got to hear her mindset mastery to where she is today. I'm telling you, listen carefully. Rita, let me tell you, it's so great to have you on the podcast. I know our listeners will more than likely put your story on repeat. But let's start out and tell us a little bit about how you even got to the Beautifully Well Lifestyle Program. Walk us through a little bit of that.
Okay, so last year, sometime in the summer, I was diagnosed diabetic. My A1C was 6.6. My physician, she said she wasn't really too concerned, but it was a concern for me because diabetes runs in my family. All of my dad's side of the family have diabetes, so I was afraid of that. I mean, my A1C was inching up here and there, but when it got to 6.6, I don't know why that just like set off a bell for me. So um, when I left the doctor's office, I was like, I don't want to be on any medications. I want to do everything on my own and, just try to work things out. And I was trying to figure out how I was going to do it. And then one day, right after that, I got a phone call. It was amazing from the program. And it was like asking me, did I want to join? And I got a call a year before that, but I guess probably wasn't the time yet. So, I was like working out the logistics of the days and that we can meet on Mondays. And it really worked out for me. And I was like, okay, so that was great. I want to say I started last year, June the 28th. But I didn't officially start my weight loss journey till probably I started tracking my weight July 7th.
Hmm.
And so I took my initial weight, which was 182 pounds, and I wasn't
Right.
happy with that either. So it was like, okay, you got to lose weight, you got to eat right, you got to do the right thing. But I think when I first joined the program, I was sick that week, so I couldn't really start that time. So after that, I started going on a major journey of trying to lose weight, being in a program. I said, if I'm going to be in this program, I have to be serious, not just about the program, but about myself. I'm 40 plus, and I'm like, I'm not getting any
It's time.
younger. So at the end of the day, it's like, you got to do the right thing now. So I started eating better, tracking what I eat on this My Fitness Pal app, and then finding other little uh, apps where I can find good healthy foods and recipes and stuff. Not even just like where I cut out everything, but like that was sensible. I wasn't trying to do no keto diets or none of that stuff. I wanted to do something that would be more conducive where I count my calories and watch my carbs and sugars and all that good stuff. So
So, but that's, what's interesting about what you said, couple of just PowerPoints in that you knew you were going to do something about it. You knew about all the other options from various fads with diets. You started out at 182 pounds. Interestingly, like the first week of class, you weren't even feeling your best.
no.
And right then and there, and I'm sure you realized this later, that not feeling well didn't stop you
Yeah.
from deciding that I'm going to get serious and make this work. But let's go back a little bit, right? Because you get this 6.6 lab work comes to you. Let's talk family for a second, because I know when I read your story, I was like, how many of us can relate to these patterns and these generational traces within our families that paint pictures that can either propel us to want to take charge of our health, or maybe even put us in a position where we just feel like that's just the way it is. Like I'm just next in line. So tell us a little bit about, if you don't mind, just some of your why related to this push to make your health a priority.
Okay, so my paternal grandmother had diabetes, wound up having to have triple bypass surgery, passed away not long after that. I had an aunt who had was on dialysis. She passed away. A couple of family members who had poor control diabetes who passed away, or and like my dad now he has a kidney disease. He just recently was put on dialysis. So it's like I saw things going bad with him, and I work in healthcare, so I also know what poor control diabetes, poor control high blood pressure, all of that stuff can do for you. And I just didn't want to be one of those people. I want to break the cycle.
Breaking a cycle. That's generational health,
Yes,
right? What you saw, and then being in healthcare at that, like you said, we see it every day. You know, you see it every day, and you hit that word uncontrolled. There are some people with type 2 diabetes that don't even realize they can control it. Look at her. They can control it. So your why is strong. It's deep. But let's get the ladies excited about some of the steps that you took in order to make change happen. But let's tell them the change first, right? Let's tell them the outcome. You started the program at 182. Where are you today?
158.
Woo!
Yes.
158. And did you starve yourself? Like, what was food like for you to go from 182 to 158? You're talking about a 24-pound weight loss. That is incredible.
Yes.
But
Well,
what?
I did a few things. Um, I changed. So initially, I went on like a cleanse because you guys offer that in the program. You offer that option of doing a smoothie cleanse. So initially, I started out with like a 2 week smoothie cleanse, which really helped, by the way, because my weight came off tremendously in the beginning.
The boost, the momentum, right? When you see it.
Yeah.
Whoa, this is great.
Then I downloaded this. I started going on Instagram, and all different people was telling me all different places you can find recipes. But I found my perfect one, which was this app called Lemon 8. Love it. Then you can find people on there to show you different ways to still eat the food that you love, but eat it in a healthier way. I even started switching out my pastas. Like I went from eating enriched pastas. I stayed away from those enriched pastas because I follow a lot of health people, and I started eating things that were more natural, less, had less carbs, or try to eat more protein packed pastas and stuff like that. I just made like simple changes. No, actually starving myself, just, portion control, calorie counting, all that good stuff. I got to a place where I'm like, if it got so much calories, so many carbs, so much sugar, it's not worth me eating it.
It's not on a list of nourishment.
Yes,
You found your formula, and it sounds like um, the goal was to keep it simple. I mean, you're a busy person. You
yes.
have a monster schedule. So I share that because a lot of us as women, our schedules get tight. We have obligations, responsibilities on top of work. You're a hard worker, so I know they try to make you work, 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 work. In my Rihanna voice, but it's like for you, you knew that foundationally that you weren't going to go on a starvation diet, and that a few tweaks like lowering those added sugars, um, switching out some of those pastas, not eliminating them, but having more nutrient dense foods that you could grow to love was key. And it was not hard. But now your A1C was 6.6 June of 2024.
Yes.
What is it now?
5.8.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Take a pause. Let me get you to say it again. 6.6 to where is it today?
5.8.
I just wanted you to say it again for the sake of them hearing this again, because it didn't take a whole year to get to 5.8. It didn't take a whole year for you to stretch from 6.6 to even the lower sixes, right? We didn't even talk about that. That didn't take a significant amount of time. And the changes that you made in your food plan, in the program we have multiple meal plans. Each week we're talking about different topics. I love that in a program you would be in that chat. If you weren't in a chat giving suggestions or talking about what worked for you, then you come off mute and share that. The community around the program sparks motivation on two sides, right? And you are definitely an internal motivator in the program. So I just wanted to take the moment. You're here on this podcast because I know if our beautifuls are motivated, every woman listening to this, I don't care what country she's in, because we're in what, like 29 countries. Maya, India is going to be like, I'm gonna lower my A1C. So let's talk about that exercise effect, though, because Rita would be on the meeting, on the virtual class while working out. So tell us a little bit about the routine you've developed in terms of your workout.
So that was another thing. I had beforehand, before I started, I would dib and dab a little bit in this extreme hip hop class that I found on YouTube because I bought a stepper from off of Amazon a while ago. But sometimes you don't really get serious until you got to get serious. So there's this guy that I follow. His Muscle 216 Extreme Hip Hop that I absolutely love because I hate traditional workout. Like, I don't like going to the gym because I always have to find a focal point for something to help me out. But when you're doing it on YouTube, and I can do it in the comfort of my own home, no matter what the weather is, I don't have to worry about leaving out, going anywhere. You know, I have my focal point because I'm watching them, and it's like dancing. It's like doing Zumba, which I love as well. But it's like I get so much energy out of this class. It's amazing. So I've been doing that religiously since last year, and it's
Mm,
been working for me. So,
absolutely. The pattern, the consistency. Not too long ago, there was this question almost like, does the chicken come before the egg? When we talked about discipline versus motivation to build to consistency, right? What comes first, the discipline or the consistency? Um, each person is different, but what I strongly believe, and based on what you shared, is that first comes the why. Why am I even doing this? That why has to be so strong that once you start building the momentum, then the consistency comes because you're even seeing results soon. Now, we started this conversation with a focus on A1C because we know people are not talking about diabetes enough, and yet it affects the entire world. It's crazy in the United States, and especially for people of color. It's taken us out. Just as you mentioned in your own family history, I can say the same for mine. I mean, both of my parents were, well, my mom still is a type 2 diabetic, and my dad was too. But let's talk heart health. Um, when you started the program, you were you were aiming to manage your health overall. So, if you don't mind sharing a little bit about how this transition in this program has also supported better heart health for you.
well, blood pressure has went down um, tremendously. I went from taking 100 milligrams of losartan, which I still take, which that had increased around. Now, all of this was going on at the same time. My blood pressure was getting higher, my A1C went up, everything was happening all at the same time. Um, and then I'm now at 100 milligrams of losartan and only a half of a 25 milligram. Like all of my medicines had got increased, but now I'm able to decrease one of them. I take a half a pill now. On top of that, I just feel better. Like I just have energy and just feel so much better. I can do more things. I didn't realize how I thought I was skinny, but because people always say you're not that big, but
At
they don't.
182, right?
Yeah, yeah. I guess to them I didn't look that big, but um, it's like now you just feel so much better. I'm not so winded all the time. I have more energy for things. I'm not as tired. I just feel better overall. And I just
Mm,
love who I am now. I love the person that I
mm.
am.
Beautifully well, inside and out.
Yes.
And like you said, Rita, at 182, everyone around you was like, "You good? You all good? I mean, you're fine. You don't even need to lose weight." They mean well, well intentioned, but we're a culture of thick, right? We It's not just about the frame and the shape and the hourglass, that we forget that body fat percentage has a strong link to diabetes, to hypertension, to heart health, and that we can still be beautiful without all the extra.
Yes. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yes, because it's like I mean, although other people felt that way, I didn't feel that way because when you put your clothes on, like, oh no, this don't look right. My stomach look crazy and this is that and the third. So it's like, even now people say to me, um, don't lose too much weight, you're gonna wither away. Well, that's your personal opinion.
Hello.
At the
Yep.
end of
Stay
the
out of my
day,
body
I
fat
have to
percentage.
do what's more healthy for me.
Yeah.
So to you on the outside, you think I'm super skinny, but for me, there's still more work to do.
And your energy level, the things you've done have just added. It's added to your longevity and it's added to your quality of life.
Yes.
Hmm. So let's give these ladies some advice. Think if you could think of the top three things, and I always say three things. It could be two, but there's something about three things, right? So that if somebody picked one to work on first, at least they're in the game. But the three things you would share with a woman who may who right now could be in the situation you were in back last summer before you joined the program. She's looking at her lab work. She doesn't like what she sees. Life is a little complicated and crazy between work and family. And just as you mentioned, perimenopause is taking over in so many ways and affecting our mental health, emotional health, physical health as well. So she's a little overwhelmed, not quite sure what to do. What are the three things, or I'll even say just what advice would you give her so that she can watch herself gradually and naturally lose weight, lower her A1C, get her blood pressure controlled, and even have conversations about medications that may concern her because she's starting to do the work.
First of all, take advantage of Beautifully Well. For sure, because this program is amazing. Like you get great tips. Like being on here every week, every Monday was motivational for me. Listening to the other women's stories, it was like great, and just hearing what other people do versus we share stories and all of that good stuff. Take it slow. Absolutely, 100% take it slow. Don't keep up with anybody else. Don't burn yourself out. Just take everything one day at a time, and you know what you can handle at the end of the day. Simple changes first, because at the end of the day, this is a lifestyle change. This is not a diet or a fad. I don't. You're doing it for, 'eternal life. So you have to pick something that works for you. because what works for everybody else might not work for you. I've done Weight Watchers. And Weight Watchers was great. It gave me some good pointers and let me know some things with that too. So, but that's not a permanent fix. I'm paying money for something I could do for free on my own. So at the end of the day, just love you. You know what I mean? And once you get to the point of loving yourself and do everything, you just try to do the best you can do to make things work best for you.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. So good. It's like the reminder you have support. You're not by yourself. You're looking for accountability. You're looking for a program that's going to help continue, to provide the resources you need is number one. You are not alone. Second, go slow. Slow is what wins the race. And especially for my 40 and over beautifuls, y'all, we are not running like we're 31 and 32 again. Taking our time with it and embracing, as you mentioned, the lifestyle effect of it. Like it's no quick, fast flash. Let's develop this lifestyle around it. And I will tell you, you hit it on the nose at the end with the love self journey. That is really what this is. And if you like you notice you're loving you even more because you're loving this next version of you that you've worked so hard to get to. And I will just tell you on behalf of Amani Nicole Wellness, it's been a pleasure, and we don't take it for granted when we are given an opportunity to hang out and ride along for the journey. It's a huge deal for us, and especially when you take it seriously. You jump into a program, you recognize your commitment level, not necessarily to us, but your commitment level to yourself. So, an absolute delight. And I just know so many women already within the current tribe and those women who virtually and from afar will tune in. You just never know how far your impact will flow with this story because it's an incredible one.
Well, this
So,
program is a blessing because you don't really find, especially women of color, you don't really find the sisterhood of what you have in this program. And I feel like this is more than just a program to get yourself together. It's a sisterhood because you don't preach to us like you're a doctor or talk to us like we know in a medical term of way. You talk to us to say, hey, listen, you're going to eat this fruit or you're going to eat this certain thing. And that helped me along the journey too, because I was sitting there so busy focused on, well, this fruit got a lot of sugar in it or this fruit, but I would prefer to eat this fruit than to eat this candy bar. So, that helped me along the way, just hearing like persistent conversations from Mondays in my head as I'm going along. And that's what I think about as I go along. Just keep boosting yourself and telling yourself, okay, you can do this, you got this. And then just the lovely ladies just help out as well.
just a beautiful synergy all the way around. I appreciate I appreciate the kudos as well. Well, Rita, again, thank you for setting aside the time. I know we're getting ready to jump into your workout time because your dedication is so strong. I just might decide to work out a little bit myself. So, as the recap, I want y'all to put this on replay. I want you to download it multiple times. If the sound got a little fuzzy here or there, I'm just telling you, y'all just rewind it and replay it all day, every day. Because at the end of the day, what you have been able to listen to, one is motivation, that is confirmation that no matter what place you are in from a health perspective, you have the ability to naturally, holistically make a change. You can do it and you have the support in place to do it. So, Rita, super claps to you. Kudos all
Thank
around for
you.
you. Thank you ever so much. We look forward to this.
Oh, thank you for being the amazing coach that you are.
Thank you so much. And, beautifuls, stay tuned for another episode of Beautifully Well Conversations with your girl, Coach Nick.